And of course, national reaction to that speech at 6:30 tonight. It's 13 minutes past 6 now, and all this week we've been featuring our 4 Pride of Britain finalists, people that you nominated to be given a local hero award for the community work they do.
Well, tonight it's time for our 3rd finalist, Norman McNamara. We were contacted by a number of people recommending Norman for a Daily Mirror Pride of Britain award. Claire Manning has been to meet him.
Norman McNamara was 50 when 5 years ago he was given the devastating news he had dementia.
I call it the loneliest disease in the world because I'm convinced that there's only me understands it and nobody else does. And when you face the world, when you think you're right and everybody else is wrong, and when actually it's not, it's the other way around, they're all right and you're wrong because I'm the one that's getting mixed up. That's the hardest to take. It's the frustration that comes along with it. It's knowing that you're going to forget people and you're going to forget loved ones and you're going to forget children and grandchildren. And that is the most awful part about it.
Norman has a type of dementia known as Lewy bodies. It not only affects his memory but also his balance and most terrifyingly his sleep. Every night he suffers horrific hallucinations.
And I said, I had a dream. And I said, one day that dream will be to see Torbay as a dementia-friendly community.
But what I need you to do now is leave behind any preconceptions you may already have of how someone with dementia behaves. Norman, or rather Norms, as he prefers to be known, is, well, he's a dynamo. 6 out of 7 days a week, Norman spends almost all his time working to raise better awareness about dementia. In January, Norms decided he wanted Torbay to become a dementia-friendly resort where shops and businesses recognise the signs of the illness so they'd know how to treat someone they think has dementia. How did he do that? Well, he drew up a leaflet and approached companies explaining how to help people with dementia. Now, 9 months later, dementia-friendly towns have been set up in India, the US, Australia and New Zealand. That's all thanks to Norm's vision. Hannah Harvey knows firsthand just how vital Norm's work is. Hannah's dad, Ernest, was diagnosed with dementia 4 years ago.
We'll never fully know what Dad's gone through, but with Norm, the way that he's put it in his books and his poems and his blogs has given us an insight of what he's gone through. Norman is like my dad. As soon as you meet him, you fall in love with him. He called you his friend straight away. He is a lovely big character that has just got this passion for life and for living life and for getting over the message of dementia.
Hannah wasn't alone in nominating Norman for Pride of Britain. He had nominations from across the world. The Director of Information at the Alzheimer's Society of Canada said Norm is a gift to the entire world. An emailer from America said Norm is a wonderful, inspirational man who has touched lives around the world with his descriptions of a day in the life of an adult living with dementia. And the Lewy Body Support Group in Australia said Norm's influence extends beyond the boundaries of the UK, inspiring people worldwide. Norm's recently persuaded his local footy club to become the first dementia-friendly club in England.
Immediately I was knocked out by his overall drive, also the fact that he didn't ask for money. He doesn't want money. What he wants is awareness, and you know, we're thrilled to help. He's at the forefront of making dementia a much more nationwide aware problem.
The list of what Norms has achieved feels almost endless. He set up memory cafes for people and their carers to drop in for a cuppa and get advice. 2 of those are in Torbay, and he's helped set one up in America. He's written books, helped spearhead a campaign to get patients in the West Country diagnosed with dementia better access to care. He set up a Dementia Awareness Day, which has now gone global, and he's had face-to-face meetings with Prime Minister David Cameron.
He is a beacon. He is a beacon that will shine that light out to say, hey, I've got dementia, but hey, I'm still a person, and hey, I still do the same things as you and your next door neighbour.
Currently, he's working on a project to create a memory garden, a place for people with dementia and their families to help with the gardening or simply relax. Once he's done here, he's going to create similar projects across the country.
If we're talking about the pride of Britain, that for me is about getting on. It's about a resourcefulness. It's about having adversity and overcoming that. And I think that Norman's got all of those qualities. And so when you're looking around our country and sometimes things aren't going well, you know, you've got people like Norman who we can say we are proud of.
With Norm's every step of the way, though, is the woman he calls his angel, Elaine. They've been together 20 years.
I think if you don't laugh about it, you'd sit down and cry about it. And I have no intention to spend the rest of my life crying about it, and neither does Norm. This is what we've been dealt. This is how we deal with it.
Norm's is the man who gives a voice to people who so often don't feel they have a voice of their own, or whose dementia is so advanced that they can no longer speak out for themselves.
Actually get through to the Pride of Britain would be to be able to put the disease of dementia on a national stage and talk about dementia on a national stage, on national TV, and to show that people who have dementia are not always in the late stages, that people do have a life after diagnosis.
And it's not an easy thought, but one day this disease could affect any one of us. And so remember, Norman McNamara is fighting for all of us.